power markets debate heats up as demand surges nationwide. The U.S. power sector is heading into a new phase of growth and a renewed argument over how it should be managed. A fresh campaign from the Electric Power Supply Association, EP, is stepping into that moment, aiming to reinforce the role of competitive wholesale markets just as demand projections climb and policy uncertainty deepens. Branded Energizing Tomorrow, the initiative reflects a broader push by independent power producers to reassert the value of competition in a system increasingly shaped by state intervention, utility expansion, and evolving reliability concerns. Competition faces a new stress test. After years of relatively stable electricity demand, consumption is climbing again. Data centers, AI infrastructure, and electrification trends are driving that shift, putting pressure on existing generation capacity and long-term planning models. EPSA's position is that competitive wholesale markets have historically delivered cost efficiency and reliability, particularly in regions like PJM. The group points to long-term performance data suggesting that market-based systems can incentivize investment while keeping consumer costs in check. But that model is encountering friction. State-level policies, ranging from subsidies to mandated resource planning, are increasingly shaping outcomes in ways that independent generators argue disrupt price signals. At the same time, vertically integrated utilities are expanding their footprint, raising questions about how much of the market remains truly competitive. Energizing Tomorrow is designed to push back on what EPSA sees as a shifting narrative. The campaign emphasizes measurable outcomes, such as affordability and system reliability, rather than focusing on ownership structures or regulatory models. Demand growth meets planning uncertainty. The current surge in electricity demand is unpredictable. Forecasts tied to AI-driven data centers and other high-load users vary widely, complicating investment decisions for both developers and grid operators. EPSA frames this uncertainty as a case for market-driven approaches. In theory, price signals respond dynamically, encouraging new generation where it's needed, while limiting unnecessary build-out. Supporters argue that this flexibility is better suited to volatile demand patterns than centralized planning. Policymakers, however, are not uniformly aligned with that view. Concerns around grid reliability, affordability, and long-term resilience are prompting some states to consider more directive strategies, including capacity requirements and expanded utility ownership. Critics warn that these interventions could dilute the effectiveness of competitive signals and lead to inefficiencies over time. The result is a policy environment in flux. Market design, once a largely settled issue, is back under scrutiny as stakeholders weigh how best to balance investment risk, system reliability, and consumer costs. At its core, EPSA's campaign signals a broader inflection point. Electricity is becoming more central to economic growth, and the systems that support it are being tested in new ways. Whether competitive markets can adapt on their own or will need to evolve alongside more interventionist policies remains unresolved. What is clear is that the debate is no longer theoretical. As demand accelerates, decisions about how power markets function will shape not just the grid, but the trajectory of the wider economy.